Do that.
And I'll send you the link to the stream. Yeah, I can send you the link to the stream.
Who that?
What's the deal, Trap?
What up? Hold on, why my sound just went out?
What you was saying, Trap? You couldn't hear me?
I heard you now. I don't know what was going on.
You know, this thing going, man. I don't know what is going down, man. I'm having one of those last weeks. I've been having a lot of breakthroughs when it comes to hip hop and business over the last week. But man, when I tell you I've been losing track of time, that's a good position to be in. It's a bad position to be in for the business, but it's a good position to be in when it comes to creativity.
Yeah.
It's a great position when it comes to being to the, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to creativity. A lot of things that people taught me about when it comes to marketing is starting to make sense. Everything about hip hop is making sense. Everything about records is making sense. Everything is just making sense. And I find myself in a creative bind. So here's the funny part. So as I've been inspired to create these new records, this new style of records that's probably not going to be considered new, but they very much are new. You know, they are definitely meant to take advantage of where the business is at today, the economy, where the business economy is at today. How I'm creating records. It's funny because it's before 45 inches. So shout out to everybody. When you hear the term single, that term came about because of the technology that's the 7-inch 45. Right? That's roughly the 40s. RCA, the record company, came up with the technology that's the 7-inch 45, a little small vinyl. Right? And that was the birth of the single. And then in the 50s, they evolved the style of it. And that's where you get the format of the traditional song, the way you know the song, right? Hook, bridge, verse. And off of that specifically, a whole business was built. A whole structure was built. Off of that. How radio stations started to work, the pop charts appeared, MTV was built off of that. So many things. Most of the record companies, the way we know them in today's time or in the time we remember, came from the technology that's a 7-inch 45, the record. They had the 12-inch. The 12-inch was created first, you know, but they realized this was right after a depression. The president with the least amount of political experience, you know, with less than Trump, he was the president, caused the Great Depression. So they wanted to make recorded music cheap. A 7-inch vinyl 45, the material, you know what I'm saying? It was cheap, 33 to 75 cents. We talked about this, Trap. The player went down to $20. At one time before 1940, the recorded music player was $80 to $90, right? 10-inch, 12-inch, 78s, right? So that was like $1, $2. And the player itself was, you know, $80, $90, which is, you know, if you what do you call it? Inflation is probably $2,000, $3,000 today. So it was really for wealthy people. The technology that's a 7-inch 45 created this recorded music being in most households in America. So it also meant people put less money innately into making records. There was no need to fund these big, you know, these big things anymore, you know what I mean, that they were making. They had more musicians came about, you know, and Ray Charles created that structure where he interpolated Southern Tones Must Be Jesus. He interpolated Southern Tones Must Be Jesus, and then created I Got a Woman. The pop charts are born shortly after that, late 50s. So we've been playing by that the whole time. That's how we've been playing by that rule, looking for hooks. The Miz just told me something dope about Chic, Nile Rodgers from Chic, saying that I think the hook was just a reason for the song, or it was something like that. I need to look it up, but he was saying something. But I think we fell in love with the hook so much that we've made it the everything to the art, the artistic merit that's music. And I think that's the problem.
So you I hear many songwriters done said that the hook is the most important part of the song. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the one that captures in the listener more than the melody. But I hear what you're saying though, as far as within the
But when I was studying music before that, right? Again, back to the Mamie Smith, the Ma Rainey's, Duke Ellington, Ruth Brown. The way hooks were, they weren't like how they are now. They wasn't meant to be like these overtly simple and easy things to catch. You know what I mean? It was a little bit more artistic, more artsy. You know what I'm saying? And the reason they could get away with that is because the infrastructure hadn't been built based off of the hook. It was really about people judging art, right? It was all about people judging art. Like if they like it. Problem, shout out to Nomi Problem. Jason Morton, he still lives by that, right? He's a big art person. You know what I'm saying? It's big art. You know what I'm saying? So, but this is something to me that fits how he sees music, where it's like, yo, it really is about energy and just music versus where we've been in love with just the concept of the beat and the hook, where now it's something more and it could be something special. Well, for a while, those type of records wouldn't really have a mainstay in the business because of the infrastructure that the 7-inch 45 created. So like a song, for example, like Protect Your Neck by Wu-Tang, that wouldn't have had, like, it would have been hard for that song to work in the traditional structure because the traditional structure depends on the hook. But there were other things created when hip hop came along, right? It created its own economy. Not only its own economy, it created its own structure. And then music videos, right, obviously comes in the early 80s. And the music video and that infrastructure that hip hop created, you know, and the minimum, I think it was like college radio, you know, a couple of parties, created an opportunity for Wu-Tang to do 30 or 40,000 first week when they couldn't truly benefit at the highest level of the current infrastructure. That was a big deal. And I don't think people really understand how special Wu-Tang's movement was to be able to pull that off with Protect Your Neck.
That's a fact.
Question.
Sure.
So was the hook created as a control mechanism?
No. A lot of times we think things are created with intentions to just be evil or manipulative versus creative, you know what I mean, and endearing.
Because I think a hook as repetitive, something that's over and over, and people start just remembering the hook.
Yeah.
So that's a real big influence. So that's why I say control. Is it?
I think it could be used as control, but I don't think that was the
creation of it.
Yeah, no, that wasn't at inception. I would imagine. I can't be sure. You know, we have to go have those questions. But again, if you think about it, like I said, we're back in that time now. We're back in that time right now where now the structure that the 7-inch 45 is not the only structure. Not only is it not the only structure, there is something powerful in the landscape, right? In streaming apps. Streaming apps are powerful. Like they are one of the most powerful tools ever given to musicians. The independent artists, especially. Now, they have moved really far, King, away from being for independence. You know, again, these are corporations. Spotify, Apple, Tidal, they're all corporations. You know what I'm saying? So, so they eventually start doing business. Pepsi is going, you know, it's enough. It's 100+ million people coming now to Spotify. I think they have 200 million monthly subscribers.
Mhm.
You know, eventually Pepsi realizes big corporation money. Forgive me for a lack of terms, but big corporation money like Pepsi. So when I say Pepsi, I'm talking about big corporation money comes to start advertising. They come to start advertising, right?
Mhm.
And now the cost, the CPMs, they have to go up because now they have opportunity at big money. You know, Coke, Pepsi, this is endless money. They got barrels of money trapped that they spend to advertise with. Barrels of money. It's just barrels. And that knocks the little man out of the fold. And hip hop has always been the little man.
You think we still a little man now?
Huh?
You think we still a little man now when it comes to
Hell
dramas
yeah.
and music?
We don't got no money.
We more little than rock.
Man, we don't have no money. We still little men. Even the people that's lying that they say they billionaires ain't billionaires.
Even with them being the highest grossing genre in music, we still at this the little man. Though, you feel like?
Hell yeah. Because even when you say genre, this is a record company business. You know what I mean? Like, who is the richest independent hip hop company?
Empire.
And I don't know if we would call them an independent hip hop company.
Why is that?
They're a distribution company that distributes all music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, they're not. Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? And
the richest independent hip hop label right now. I think of it. I don't even know nobody that's independent.
Yeah.
Right now.
And it used to be a ton of them trapped when we grew up, bro.
you're right.
There used to be a
You're
ton of them
Yeah,
motherfuckers.
you can't think of one.
You feel me?
Okay.
But
You're right.
because now you're trying to advertise. You're trying to advertise in the same place. And this is what Jermaine's Dupri. Shout out to JD. He had a great conversation.
I gotta watch that.
Every hip-hop artist kind of took offense weirdly. It's JD, bro. JD is like nigga, it's JD. Like you have to look deeper past the emotions. But he was saying something. What separates the independent artist from the mainstream artist? And I thought the question was so layered that I couldn't just answer it versus everybody else answering. Somebody I saw, the homie Ransom was like, yeah, well, you get to drop when you want to. That's not necessarily special. I mean, that could be special if that's your goal, right? But the point I was saying is you're trying to advertise on Spotify when UMG is advertising on Spotify. When Pepsi is advertising on Spotify. You're trying to advertise on YouTube when UMG is advertising on YouTube. They're spending money when Pepsi and Coke is advertising on YouTube.
So you can't get the best spots.
How could you? What does the best spots look like? Shit. Right. If you give it, imagine if somebody's paying me $2 million for a verse. Right now, I get about $3,000 for a verse. Imagine somebody's paying me $3 million for a verse. How many artists could really come do business with me if it's $3 million for a verse? What happens to the average everyday man that's trying to get into the business? You feel me? And he can't afford $3 million. Well, the same thing is happening with these corporations.
These streaming corporations.
It ain't they fault. You know what I'm saying? They business. They in it for business. They was never like Spotify's not a hip hop inspired company. Spotify.
Yeah, let me ask you this. Now I know that that Apple Music has iTunes. We could go and purchase the album from. Does Spotify have something like that?
You said who?
Do they give their listeners access to go and actually buy the album?
No, and that's been my complaint.
That's
right?
Crazy.
That's my complaint. I don't have a complaint about what they. Shout out to Dog. Shout out to to the homie. Shout out to everybody who complaining about how Spotify is paying. That I never complained about how Spotify is paying. Okay, first off, this is No Ceilings Live, the lunch hour, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here at noon Pacific Standard Time. Digital Soapbox. Click that thumbs up button. Let everybody know you in the house. If you're on Twitter, retweet the link. If you're on Facebook, share the post. If you're on YouTube, like it right now. Stop playing. Shout out to the whole lunch table. Shout out to Fats, Name Brand, Squish. What's up, Squish? I'm glad you got your package, Squish. Shout out
Squish,
to
what's happening?
Problem here. Jason Moore. Shout out to Jason, Mickey, Kelvin, what's happening? Monet, what's good? I appreciate y'all being here. Ariel Smoke, new member. It's my first time seeing this.
Yeah.
Welcome, Ariel.
Yeah, me too.
Hugo, Huey, what's happening? Diamondback, what's the deal? Sharice, thank you. Squish, Joey, thank y'all for moderating. Juice, no cuz, what's the deal? Name Brand, what's happening?
So you was trying to wait until Pete got here to do that whole routine right there.
No, I forgot.
All right. I thought you was waiting on Pete to sign like that.
No, I just forgot.
Pete really on CP time? He just ain't showing up.
I don't know. I didn't even call him. That's fucked up. Anyway, we do this stream to support the No Ceilings podcast. Oh, Trap finally unblocked you. Shout out to Squishy.
What you mean? Unblocked?
Glasses finally unblocked me. Man, Trap, you tripping.
I don't block nobody.
We do this stream to support the No Ceilings podcast. Look below. It's a link below. Check it out. Conversations on the things. Glasses be tweeting. Listen to it when you get off of this thing. And you can check out that new podcast on Apple Podcasts, iHeart Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcast from. The No Ceilings podcast, executive produced by Charlemagne the God, the Black Effect Network, and iHeart. Also, do me a solid. You see them hats that King is holding right there? Head over to the Crip Store, www.thecripstore.com. That's right, The Crip Store, TheCripstore.com. Buy a hat, buy an album, whatever you're doing. Feel me? That's the plan. So I just been thinking about it a lot. And I was talking to Steele, right? In the last conversation we had about disrespect. Shout out to Sherry. Happy birthday, Sherry.
Sherry, happy birthday.
We'll sing you some lunch.
Happy birthday.
We'll sing some lunch, Sherry.
Should we sing a song for Sherry
Squish, if I order a hat, are you going to sign it? Squish, whoever order a hat from this live today, I'm going to sign the hat for you. Happy C-Day, Sherry. Or P-Day, one or the other. Anyway.
P-Day.
So I thought about it last week. We was having this really great conversation about disrespect. And to this day, like, even when I talk to Coach Will, I'll be telling him, like, I know I wasn't disrespecting nobody, like Drake or nobody. Like I like, if I'm gonna disrespect you, I know it. But it gave me a thought of perspective. That's where we back in this conversation. Perspective. Thank you, Sharice. Head over to www.thecripstore.com. Grab some. Perspective. And DeMizza said something interesting to me, Trap. I wish you was on the phone to hear it. DeMizza is like Yoda, bro. Like, you know what I mean? When it comes to this game, this hip-hop game, and even radio, he has a really unique perspective, but he sees it through. And he's saying hip-hop is doing a bad job of taking care of hip-hop now. And I thought that was crazy when he said it. I was like, I didn't know how to feel, but then the more I thought about it, he's right. Right? Hip-hop, I always think suburban America was the biggest consumer of hip-hop. You know, the business, the people who bought things. But our conversation, Trap, was always what powered people buying it. And I always say, I think people outside of this thing we call hip-hop culture, street urban culture, I think they're always the true person that understands it. I don't think we understand it like they do. They see it completely different.
Is it because they probably pay more attention to it than we do because we actually live it?
I think that's a huge part. I think that's a huge part of it. But it was something he was saying, and I thought I flushed out the thought completely. Hip hop has always kind of been a poor man's thing, right? It's the voice of the poor man, the disenfranchised, the oppressed. It's always been that that it's the language as well. You know what I mean? At a complete fold. There are, suburban kids, but they very much represent those same people. You know what I mean? And there was a time, Trap, and you can attest to this being from Queens at that time. This is before your time, but close enough in the 80s and 90s growing up, where word of mouth was the strongest thing that we had for hip hop amongst us. Word of mouth was the strongest thing we had in hip hop. And so that's why I said, and that's why I'm saying, that's why I also realized, like, now there's so many different entry points, right? And I guess this is kind of why I've always had that issue with the blogs. That gave an entry point that we didn't rule. We didn't rule that entry point, right? And then they started creating conversations. And what I realize is, as hip hop, shout out to Name Brand, who said hip hop is kind of becoming an industry, or like Ronald Green Jr. What up, Ron? Shout out to Ron, right? Hip hop isn't that. Those people are not necessarily hip hops. They're a fan of music, the music possibly, but they don't get the culture part of it. But it's like, what's happening is people don't know what's happening in hip hop. Like, think about it. If you don't have like, we believe that everybody got Spotify, everybody got Apple, everybody got Tidal. Actually, no, they fucking don't. No, they fucking don't.
Yeah, because I don't have Apple.
Everybody got YouTube.
And this is the point, right? Now you have a dilemma, because YouTube is like a location of a lot of locations. That's like saying everybody has United States of America. You know what I mean? Like, it's a location that got millions, hundreds of millions of locations.
That's like saying everybody got basic channels on their TV.
Everybody does have basic channels on their TV, but YouTube is a television with millions.
You gotta have a television in order to have it, though.
Yeah,
you gotta have a device in order to have YouTube.
But I do think everybody has a phone. I do think everybody has a TV. But the problem is, YouTube is a place with millions of channels. Millions of channels.
Yeah.
So it's not even, it's like saying everybody has YouTube is a waste of time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, shit, that's like everybody has breath if they're alive, or everybody has water if they, like, it's such a big thing. And I think hip hop is not doing a good job of connecting to hip hop anymore. The culture itself. Like, we're connecting to people that enjoy the buying the music or buying the culture, but the conversation is not happening amongst the locals.
I got a question. So you think hip hop is starting to cater to the people buying it instead of just in culture itself?
Yes, but not on purpose. Technology has came, and a lot of technology is built on hip hop. Shout out to Name Brand. What's the disconnect? It's not a disconnect. It's what happened with anything when it becomes successful. People understand that there's economics involved. People come in, corporations come in, and they start to make money off of it. Right? They start to make money catering to the people that spend money, not to the people that lead the conversation. They cater to the people that's spending money, because they're a business. But what happens to that bridge between us and the person that we're representing? How do they know? How do they know? How is it possible for them to know, hey, Glasses has a new album? I put out Cancel These Nuts last year, 18 months ago, right? How was it possible I could let people know from Watts that album came out? That we don't all go to the same blogs. Some people follow me on Instagram. Instagram don't even allow me to reach all the people from Watts that follow me. So the people that come in the name of hip hop, they use hip hop as a way to come in and create a business. They are not necessarily, forgive me for a lack of a better term, because I don't want to sound like I'm coming down on them. They aren't a friend of the conversation. There's somebody looking to exploit the whale of business involved with the culture itself. How do you know it's there? How do I let people know? So if you're any artist, right? Like, remember, I always tell, I was telling somebody this about like Problem in them. Like, the infrastructure was created for party scenes to become, the infrastructure in LA, the poor people started going to parties, right? That became the thing. People started going to Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? They started partying. And so all of the records, when I was coming up, or right when I was in the game, YG, the ratchet kids, the jerk kids became the ratchet kids, and the ratchet kids came into the scene. They became the cool kids. They created the infrastructure. So then you just had to make music that fit the infrastructure, and it was able to be passed to everybody throughout the city. So like a song like That Good is gold now because it was able to be passed throughout the scene. I didn't really have to do anything but work the infrastructure that's there. But what happens in today's time, because when there is no infrastructure, there is no infrastructure. Every time you put something out, you need to create an infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
That matters. Infrastructures and how we break records was everything. Right now, like Problem is a prime example of somebody putting out great records, but they're not breaking the way they should because there is no infrastructure. So he's only satisfying a base of people. Really, these records are good enough to be the biggest records in the world. So I just been thinking about that. And when he said that, it was like, hip hop is not taking care of hip hop. But then how do I get the word of mouth? How do I tell if everybody in Watts wanted to support me, how the fuck would they know I even got an album? How? I wouldn't even know how to tell them I got a fucking album. Because now we all over the place. Back in the day, somebody from the Nickerson Guards, it'd be 10 niggas from the Nickerson Guards, it'd be 12 niggas from Jordan Downs, it'd be 13 niggas from Imperial Course, it'd be a couple Fuzztown niggas, couple 10-line niggas, couple niggas at the party. They see the girls going up.
Do people know you independent?
That it's not about being independent. Like remove all of that. And that's where I'm saying with JD's conversation. It's not about independent. That's not their job. The conversation, their job ain't to know that I'm independent. Their job is to say, do Glasses got some dope ass shit that he putting on?
Yeah, the music. The music.
But now it's based off of money.
Not just money, not afford, because it's never been about that. Their infrastructures were already created. Again, back to that 7-inch 45. So it's like, even now, like if you run it, like if I ran it, like I was telling somebody the other day, like I'm finna put out all of these records, right? And I'm helping the homie. We talking about doing a group chat album, right? Oh, it's me, AD, Problem, Pun, producing it, whatever. Boom, okay. How do we even market this motherfucker? You know what I mean? That shit kick your ankles loose, cuz like that shit kick your ankles loose, bro. That shit kick your ankles loose. Because it's like, how do you market it? I'm watching a million artists go around and become content creators to try to market music, but music itself is being treated like content. It's even monetized like content. How you gonna run an ad at Spotify for somebody to stream a song that's worth a fraction of a cent? That don't even make sense. Like right now, if you spend $1,000 on Spotify, because it is a corporation, right? You spend $1,000 with Spotify. If you lucky, you're going to reach somewhere between 75 and 150,000. You're going to get somewhere between 75 and 150,000 impressions. 75 to 150,000 impressions. Let's say the conversion rate is 1% at 150,000. Let's go high end, 150,000, 1%. 1% of that 15 is 10, so 1,500 is 1%. They say a sale is 150. 150 streams. That's what they call one sale. 150 streams in America. The real number is probably a lot closer to 30. So I rounded off to 90 in the million. It's 90 in the middle. So if it's 15,000, let's say it's 1,500 people and they play a song 90 times, how many streams is that? If 7 is 7, 8, 8, 4, 2.
You said what?
135,000 streams. That's 1,500 people streaming a song 90 times. That's conversion rate. 150,000 people at $1,000 in ad money. Right? $1,000 in ad money, 1 million streams. Right? I mean, excuse me, $1,000 in ad money. You reach 150,000 people on the high end. 1% conversion of call to action. They do what you asking them. Right? That's 1,500 people. They buy it. They stream it 90 times, which is crazy. But sure, let's say 90 times. That's 135,000 streams. Man, that ain't even your money back.
What's it look like? Them kind of numbers.
135,000. Shit, if 100,000 is about $40, $30 or $40.
Wow.
100,000 people listen to your song, you get $30, $40.
Wow. After you put in 1,000.
No, 100,000 streams.
100,000 streams, excuse me.
I'm telling you
streams.
right now, that number is supposed to be generated by 1,500 people.
That's crazy.
You feel what I'm saying? So that's been my thought. Fixing a lot of this shit is important. Again, this is a simple business thing. Exposure. That's bad business. That's what slow niggas down. So a lot of niggas you see that's not putting out, you might have saw niggas 6, 7 years ago putting out a lot of music because they was able to fuzz the numbers. They was able to use stream forms to do 1 for 5s. Feel me? So it's different. Like if you got 1 for 5s, right? Let's say 1 for 5s. Right now, boom, you get 1 stream, they count it as 5. You're a part of a stream form program. So 135,000 people times 135,000 streams times 5.
Streams.
Now you cook it. Then at that point, they see the engagement in the streaming, and now they start to move you. They start to promote you in their system or being a part of, like people say, the algorithm. Being a part of the algorithm is when that company starts to promote you. Hey, they start showing people, hey, look at this Glasses Malone song. Now you're a part of the algorithm. Recommend it, Glasses Malone. They're marketing you. That's what being a part of the algorithm is. So I was thinking about it. So the pursuit of the business, and this is what I was thinking about with JD's point, the pursuit of the business, trying to play the game like a major is probably the problem. And that's what I think his conversation lied in his tweet. Like not lied is told not a fact. I'm saying like where it laid at, where this is the premise of his tweet. Like we should not be pursuing as an independent, pursuing the business the same way major labels are pursuing the business.
We got to come up with something else. We got to come up with another way of doing it, because the ordinary way of the way the major labels is doing it, we can't afford to do it like that.
Hell no.
So we got to have another way of getting exposure.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So no, I'm gonna tell you. So there's 2 problems. One, fuck the money. Fuck the money. One, let's make sure hip hop, the culture knows what the representation is doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way Glasses Low should be putting out no record and everybody in Watson County don't know I got a record. That got to change immediately. So however to figure that out is paramount.
What do you think about going back to guerrilla marketing?
At that point, it's price, right? Because then, so now here's the fix. Now here's the fix too. You have to fix. That's why I've been telling you, we can't just get rid of streaming, right? Like not right now, because everybody is already the buying population is there. I think a lot of it fixes, forgive me, a lot of things are fixed when you connect hip hop back to its audience. You know what I mean? To not the buying population, not the suburban everyday American. That's the buying population to the body of people that it represents. How's Problem putting out an album and everybody in Compton don't know. That needs to change. Jason Martin puts out an album, everybody in Compton needs to know. Gladys Loke puts out an album, everybody in Watts needs to know. And see, we used to know because we only had limited, the infrastructure had limited places for hip hop. So, you know, you got your video on Rap City, shit, everybody in Watts saw that shit. If you had a song at the radio, everybody in Watts only listened to one thing. So I don't think the solution is simple, but I think the Miz is right. I think hip hop has to connect back to hip hop. Now, I'm not saying, I think that's going to be integral when it comes to the buying population as well, the suburban part of people that buy these records. You know what I'm saying? I think as the conversation gets louder, we move people to go buy shit, Trap. It ain't like suburban America gonna buy some shit from us that we don't fuck with. And that's where I think somebody like Drake understood, specifically like him. He was like, I need to get these niggas on my side. If I really want to maximize opportunity, I need to get these niggas on my side. I need to be like one of these niggas. That's
You think he really felt like he needed? No, I'm saying, because I feel like Drake felt like he captured us from the jump when he came in the door with Wayne right there. I think
that's what his hopes was. I don't think that's what happened.
You don't think that the people?
I think, like I said last time, he was an empty vessel. He had a great team around him that knew the business and just used him as the vehicle.
No, because there's certain things he understood that would explain why he started to say and do and act a certain way. They didn't fit his natural progression. You don't become a rapper and become an asshole or become tough.
But he's an actor.
Why act tough?
Because this is what the culture perceives to people outside of it.
You're missing a point. So then that means he understood he needed to emulate the locals.
I agree.
It wasn't his natural progression of growth. You don't get more successful and get tough. That's not, you get successful and you kind of, you free up. You don't have to lock your fucking door at your house all the time. You don't buy more guns.
That's why I said I think he had a team that told him he gonna have to emulate.
No,
I'm 170% sure that never happened.
Nah, no, because if you remember at the beginning, Wayne told him that, yo, listen, stay Canadian. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want him to move towards resembling what else was going on in the culture at that time. He said, stay the way you are right there. So, I mean, what something else I wanted to say though, so I forgot what it was though now. But yeah, it was never supposed to be, he was supposed to be so different that him being different was attracting people to him. You know what I'm saying?
And it did work. Shout out to Ariel Smoke. Thank you for the $2. Owlboy is just like a polar bear fleshlight. I'm crying. Shout out to Ariel Smoke. Thank you for the $2. Glasses stay leaving mango owl corpses in his wake. That is true. I do find a lot of owls.
Who is that?
I don't know. Welcome though, brother. Welcome to the lunch table. You know what I mean? Grub up. Shout out to P, man. Me and P had a great conversation on the horn yesterday. Thank you for the $20. LaRussell's model does good job staying tapped into his area business engagement-wise. Business will exploit, but can't an individual have passion for the art of culture? I think LaRussell shit is just a little different. I don't think LaRussell thrives at the culture being, you know what I mean? Like maybe not black people. I mean, street urban culture, hip hop culture. I don't think he thrives in that, but I do think he understands the importance of it. That's why he taps into so many different artists from Legacy, because Legacy has access to culture that new artists don't always have. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, but whatever he's doing worked for him. You know what I'm saying? Because he ain't had a quarter of a fucking record, but you know what I mean? His business is successful at this point. So his brand is Trump tight. You know what I mean? His brand is everything. So
I think it worked for him because he basically sold culture. Like even like what them doing, like them backyard them backyard parties and all that. That made it.
Remember I had that idea 10 years ago and everybody thought I was crazy? I had that idea 10 years ago. And I told Still and Pooh, my older brother who managed me at the time, I was like, man, we need to make a residency that's just baptized in the culture. Like we make it like a gang party that like we used to go to when we was younger. you up at the front door, lowriders parked on the driveway, and you only could come here and see me perform. And they was like, man, you don't want a tour. And I'm like, no, because I'm saying I think we need to give fans more for their money. And here come this little kid 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and he does the exact same thing without nowhere near the same type of culture I wanted to add into it, and is revered. That's the worst thing in the world. When you have like fire ideas and your team like look at your ass crazy and they be like, bro, you just, and I'm like, I could see, even if I couldn't see, like I'm not this brilliant mind as much as I'm very, like I'm persistent and I'm observant. So it's like I'm looking at what's going on and I'll go read and learn about what happened. But I think that's the truth. And I think that's where Miz is right, Trap. I think hip hop needs to plug back into hip hop. Like we're not plugged back into hip hop. It's no way I should drop an album and everybody from East Side Long Beach don't know Glasses Loc got an album come out, because it's the Crips and the Loc. Like, what is we doing? And how do we do it is the true challenge to solve what hip hop needs to challenge to go to the to shift gears. To shift gears. Like it's no way, like we have to get back to that. It's not necessarily about them and the money as much as it's about the cultural conversation. The cultural conversation.
I got a question. So because of this progression, you think society's getting a misrepresentation of the true culture now?
Hell yeah. That's been my whole shit all the time. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah. That's a big thing.
So you want to make it more homegrown by getting back in touch of the roots of it, the growth of it.
Well, it's like,
because too many outsiders is trying to appropriate the culture and you're not getting the essence of the real culture no more.
Well, particularly hip hop, street urban culture is different, right? It's like, because anytime a black person raps and they're black, you automatically say hip hop. Certain things and realize that that's different. Like, to me, Lil Uzi Vert makes rock music, but people can't help because they hear rap or drums, the original drums that hip hop created or whatever hip hop drums are doing now. Even though all these things are going mainstream instantly, like you can hear the same shit with Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift probably got 808s in her song, or what's cuz daughter, Miley Ray Cyrus, cuz like they're using this shit fast. The little Spanish chick, she's kind of dope. Anyway.
Selena Gomez or something like that?
Yeah, like they'll use all this shit fast. So it's not like when you hear that automatically means hip hop. So somebody like Travis Scott, somebody like Lil Uzi Vert,
that's all hip hop.
Rock music.
It's all hip hop. That's all hip hop.
I disagree.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, because
it's all hip hop.
Problem, and this is pretty to me where the problem lies. Because even within the culture, you want to claim something that it's not a representation of nothing that's going on culturally. It's something that's a unique fold.
But the reason why I'm gonna say it's all hip hop is to the fact of
even though they keep fucking ass, it's not hip hop.
They don't say their music is in hip hop. They say their lifestyle they live is in hip hop.
Oh, like they don't even say their music is hip hop. The lifestyle you live is the most important contention of hip hop. Like how the fuck
but they mean by like the way they dress and stuff like that, though. They mean by like the way they dress.
It's not about dress. Again, the fact that you won't accept that black people can rap and make fucking rock music is irritating.
But see, the reason I'm gonna say it's hip hop though is to the fact that the most hip hop you could be is not being cookie cutter. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't mean like to come.
The man told you he's a rock star. Stop calling him that. Stop.
Wayne said he was a rock star. So what you saying? You saying Wayne ain't hip hop too?
Wayne was trying to make.
Wayne birthed all these kids you just mentioned right now.
Missing the point. Wayne was trying to make rock music, but you wouldn't take it serious. What's funny is Rock wouldn't take him serious.
I never understood why they want to be a rock star, not a b-boy.
That's the first thing I never understood.
Black man I never understood that.
Black people
I never understood that. Why do you want to be a rock star? You don't want to be a b-boy. B-boy is hip hop, dude. Like, why you want to go and wear eyeliner and fucking tight shirts and all that, like, you know what I'm saying, leggings and shit like that? I never understood that. But the reason why I'm gonna say there was this,
I said Rock didn't start out.
The crazy part is like white people came, gentrified rock, and now it's like, well, that ain't rock. Bitch, anything them little niggas do is rock and roll.
Yo,
We
listen,
can't
man.
tell, how the fuck we gonna tell the creators of rock and roll what ain't rock and roll? Because now this is right here. And they telling you they are rock stars. You look at Lil Cuz, Travis. That nigga don't say I make hip hop. Nigga say I make rage music. But you like, well, I need to hold it because it's successful and he's black.
No.
And he's using
No.
rap. I need to hold it. Let me
No.
hold it. I'm gonna hold it because I need. No, you don't. It's about
Don't hold that like that. Don't hold it like that. Let that go. Let that go.
That's how
Don't
you hold it.
Don't hold it like that. Don't hold that like that.
That's how you hold Travis.
Don't hold that like that, man.
That's why you hold Travis. That's why you hold Travis and Uzi. They're ours. And they like, no, bro, I make rage music. And one is like, I'm a rock star. You're like, nope, hip hop. And they telling you they don't make hip hop. They telling you they don't make no B-boy. They telling you. And you're like, nope, it got to be hip hop because that's the only way I can enjoy it. You can like rock music too. You know, black people used to like rock music.
Do you like rock music?
Yes. T.I.'s son right now got some standard traditional rock songs that I heard. I'm like, I like this.
King? Talking about King?
No.
The other boy rap like J. Cole.
Not him.
So which one? How many sons he got? Goddamn.
3.
Yo, what you think about him putting his whole family on one plane?
Who?
T.I.
Putting his family on one plane?
So my mom seen me the other day. She like, yo, you see what T.I. did? I'm like, what he did? He like, he had his whole family on a one private jet. You should never do nothing like that.
I mean, I think there's nothing wrong with putting your family on one
plane. No, but what she was saying was to the fact of like, what if something happens?
So what?
You lose everybody.
Yeah. Buddy Red, that's Tip's son. There you go.
Buddy Red, I never heard of him.
Buddy Red is dope, bro. I like that dude. But again, I'm telling you, no, he's doing a traditional rock.
So he was raised in a hip hop household with his father, and then made rock. But then you would say that he doesn't live the hip hop lifestyle.
No, he makes rock and bro. We made rock and roll. I don't know if you know this. But black people here in America made rock and roll.
What's that guy name again?
Well, it depends, because Ike Turner is a part of the first. Made the first rock song. Little Richard. I mean, we made rock. It wasn't just always white people, because it was actually some niggas, all niggas at the beginning. So again, to say that we're stuck, oh, well, you know what? If you use rap, it got to be rock. Or if you, bro, they're telling you, and y'all are wrong to try to misrepresent and mislabel their music. They're telling you.
Is that disrespectful?
If somebody telling you something they are, if somebody telling you something that they are, and you trying to tell them what you think they are, you for sure ain't giving them no motherfucking love.
So that's disrespectful. Okay.
I'm just saying, bro, like,
okay.
I'm just saying, why the fuck why can't they tell us what their music is and we accept it as that? Like, why do we feel the need to hold them into this? Bro, I'm glad some young niggas is colonizing, trying to get rock back. I'm glad that Travis making rage music. I'm glad that Uzi is making, he's making rock music using rap. And I'm glad. We're supposed to be able to do that. That's everything. That's what should be happening. I told Don Dub's son, shout out to Don Dub. I mean, I ended up finding him the A&R. His son was rapping, but he was playing, and I'm listening to his music. He's like, yeah, it's just different. I'm like, no, it's just jazz. He's like, yeah, but ain't no saxophone. That's not what make jazz jazz. Jazz had jazz before saxophone. I'm like, bro, you black. If you a jazzy nigga, can't nobody tell you what's jazz. Ain't no motherfucking body tell you. You may not make traditional jazz, but nigga, this is jazz. I'm listening to it. I'm like, oh, this is jazz. Even though he's rapping. So again, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's this weird space, like where Uzi is saying, hey, I'm a rock star. I make rock music. Wayne was trying to make rock music and they wouldn't even, white people were stopping him. You see Beyonce tried to make that country album. They was like, man, that's a pop album. They want a commitment. They told her they want a commitment. Maybe you get to the third or fourth country album, we'll take you serious. And black people made country. They're writing the rules on her like, no, you got to be dedicated to make country now, Miss Black Lady from Houston. You need to be dedicated if you're going to be over here. What?
She might have been country before she was R&B.
So we watching it happen to R&B right now, Trap. R&B every day is looking less black. R&B went from all niggas to about 3 niggas.
Nah, they're not gonna because they created R&B to keep us out of the pop lane, though. You know what I'm saying? So
no, they created R&B to help white people get into R&B because they couldn't get into soul.
Okay.
Now they can kick out R&B. Now niggas that sing good, that got soul, they call them neo soul. Now the queen of R&B is fucking Adele.
No, Adele's not R&B.
Adele is considered R&B.
No, she's not. No, she's not considered R&B. Adele considered pop music. Yo, what are you talking about? Adele considered pop music. The R&B Adele is Jill Scott. They would never. They wouldn't do that for their own sake.
You don't get this, Trap, and this is what I've been saying about hip hop. It's like y'all wait so long. Like I'm telling you the historical accounts of what be happening, and y'all be in the moment and missing it.
They'll let R&B die before they try to infiltrate R&B.
They infiltrated R&B and took it over.
What's R&B? What you just named Adele as being an R&B artist.
Sam Smith is an R&B act.
No, he's not. No, just because they sing don't make them R&B, bro.
All right.
You can't show me no streaming platform, no publication that has Sam Smith listed as R&B.
Everyone.
None of them.
Bro, how you don't know this?
None of them. Go show me Sam Smith listed as R&B. Please send me a screenshot.
What is going on, bro?
These under pop music. It's almost to the fact where it's fucked up what they're doing because they're putting somebody like SZA down as R&B when she's a fucking pop act because they're utilizing that as the box to put us in. So why are they gonna put their own self in that same box they putting us in? They're trying to keep us out of the shit. They're not. None of the people you mentioned is that they're like I said, they'd rather let R&B die before they infiltrate R&B.
You just don't.
They infiltrate R&B a couple of times with somebody like.
Read that comment.
Send the Wikipedia. Sam Smith as R&B. Man, you believe Wikipedia? Anybody can write down Wikipedia? Go show me what Apple Music got to list it as. Go show me what Spotify got to list it as. I go on fucking Wikipedia right now and see what hip hop.
Listen, you know what? Never mind. Y'all not finna my No.
I don't see them trying to infiltrate. Yo. I'm going to Wikipedia right now and putting them all as hip hop myself. So I believe in Wikipedia. Wikipedia also said that glasses don't hate Drake too. What do you think about that?
They got that one right.
Yo, Justin Bieber, he might have certain. No! He might have certain. Listen, bro, I'm looking at my damn Apple Music right now. I'm talking about this damn Wikipedia shit.
Look. All right, look, man. I'm giving y'all something again.
Sam Smith, pop music. Pop music. Hey, can y'all see that? Pop music. No Sam Smith album's gonna be a list on the damn R&B.
This is Sam Smith's song, Stay With Me. What does that say right there?
You keep bringing Wikipedia up, bro. I'm bringing up Bro, hold on, I'm see. Stay with me. Hold on. Hold on. They played the song.
This is crazy. Anyway, the point I'm saying is hip hop's biggest voice. Hip hop needs to plug back into their biggest voice.
Pop music. They just want to do that though. Go ahead though.
Y'all gonna wait till it's over. Y'all do this every time. I wonder who was me back in rock and roll when this was happening in rock and roll. I wonder who was Glasses Malone back then.
Bro, let me explain something to you, right?
Who was Glasses Malone back when rock and roll happened? They was like, man, rock and roll gonna always be black. They'll never get it from us. They'll never get it.
I explained this a long time ago.
Who was Glasses Malone back in the 60s, 70s? Who was that nigga?
When rock came out, huh?
Let me ask you a question.
When white people started to get into rock and they started to do it, and it was like, man, what is going on? And it was a nigga like, hey, something's going on.
Let me ask you a question. How many years you think went by before they infiltrated rock and roll?
I don't know. Maybe 20.
With 52 years in. And they couldn't do it yet.
What do you mean? We not 52 years in. They was
yes,
Beastie Boys.
They couldn't infiltrate with Beastie Boys. They didn't infiltrate with fucking Vanilla Ice. They didn't infiltrate with fucking Eminem. Right. They're not gonna do it. They can't do it. We won't let them do it.
Travis, you said they never infiltrated till this day?
Huh?
You said they never infiltrated till this day?
Until old boy.
Oh,
that was the close where they found it. That was the close where they found to do it though. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't let it work. We ain't let it happen. The boogeyman came out on it. Nah, get out of here.
Shout out to Spirit Wonder. Pop is R&B music. White people like remember that. Fucking crying. Mario Paulo. Adele won best R&B soul act in the UK.
And we talking about goddamn America. We ain't talking about goddamn UK. Talking about America. It's pop music.
You know what? At the end of the day, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna get what I gotta get. That's on y'all. Whatever happened to this shit is what happened to this shit.
Guardian of hip hop.
Man, I'm finna lead the post, man. I gotta do what I gotta do because y'all niggas will sell us out. Y'all the niggas telling me, gee, it ain't that bad. They finna free us in about 20 more years. All we gotta do is wait a little longer.
The feeding us good. The feeding us good.
He's gonna let us go. He's gonna let us go. I'm trying to free niggas now, and they like, what? Yeah. And then 20 years they're gonna fuck around and then fuck niggas around. Shout out to Diamondback Photography. Off topic. Who is y'all Mount Rushmore hip hop producers? Thank you for the $5, Diamondback Photography. Appreciate that, bro.
They all from New York.
The Mount Rushmore of hip hop producers.
See, you got to do it when you do that Mount Rushmore. People always seem like they do Mount Rushmore. They do it through
who's the
best. Yeah, who's the favorite? Nah, remember we broke that shit down before, like how to break down the whole Mount Rushmore.
Means something specifically. It don't mean the 4 best or greatest presidents. It means the 4 instrumental presidents in the development of America. So who would be the 4 producers in the development of hip hop? What's crazy is Sylvia Robinson would have to be on that list. Marley Marl would have to be on that list.
You got to start with Larry Smith and Marley Marl.
No, you got to start with Sylvia Robinson.
But she ain't create that. She had a band play it.
That don't mean nothing, nigga. Quincy Jones had a band play it. Producing is producing.
Quincy Jones was a composer, though.
Who?
Quincy Jones was a composer. He told yo, listen, the keys, I want you to play that. That's
what producing is, Trap. Producers don't hold
the keys. I don't think she's. I don't know. I don't think she's.
She's a producer on the song. Yeah, she is. Just take that with you.
All right. One song?
No, message too.
Okay.
She get credit for the message as well.
So then we 3 in right there. So what's the 4th?
No, I'm 2 in.
Oh, Larry Smith gonna go on it?
I don't know because I think Larry Smith is kind of like Sylvia. So I would have did Sylvia and Maul right off the rip in my mind. Even Larry's my favorite, but I don't know if it's Does he get away from like what Short is doing, or like does he get away or Short get away from what Sylvia's doing? I think they become more like doing what she doing. So probably
I'm thinking about coming like. So you started when you were doing. You said
I would do
more.
I would do more.
More Sylvia.
Their styles are.
I'm trying to think of somebody who bended the drum and like brought a different sound to it.
Yeah.
Like that.
Because those are the two biggest.
You're not putting Kanye on it?
Hell no.
Pete Rock?
I mean, that's Maul's son, huh?
Yeah, so you can't do Maul then. You can't put Maul. You can't put him because of Maul then.
Yeah. Yeah. When Pete says disrespectful, I say he's Maul's son. Like, is that bad to say?
No.
Like, I feel like Maul, like father.
DJ Quick.
You do Quick? Oh, he did kind of combine them both. Okay. I might do that. Playing with the sample. Okay. All right. Okay. I can see that. A lot of niggas do that. Dre transformed his style into that a lot. Not just playing over the break, but playing over the sounds. Quick is definitely unheralded. And then who took it everywhere? Who would be the Abraham Lincoln of producers? He tried to get away and niggas brought him back. Okay, so when Moss Style Quick, yeah, it feel like the Neptunes.
Yeah.
Feel like it.
I was gonna say Timberland, but Timberland a little bit too much though.
It feel like, but I mean, yeah, and the Neptunes really started off in hip hop.
Yeah, Neptunes straight hip hop when they started off. I ain't mad at that. I'm not really with the Sylvia Robinson shit though, but you can keep it there.
I mean, if you saying the first, because it's gonna be Larry or her.
I'm going with Larry.
I mean, I'm not mad. You know what I mean? There was a president before it's George Washington too, so it could be Larry. Larry was playing all that shit, but I think Sylvia's fair. If I'm being fair, it'd probably be Sylvia.
That's George Washington.
Ball. Yeah, there was a president here before George Washington.
What you know about the Continental Congress?
Man, the thing of cool. I just read and remember.
Okay.
Sylvia Robinson, Maul, Quick did kind of combine the samples and playing with the sample. I'm not mad at that. That's a good point because a lot of shit. Quick don't get a lot of credit for that shit.
I know.
And so, who would be the Abraham Lincoln of producers? Who like when things tried to split away, and they was like, Pharrell, you right, it got to be Neptunes.
Yeah. Because it came in hip hop. Oh, Eric Sherman is dope. Eric Sherman's dope, but I don't think
Eric is like Maul to me. But
it is. It is more. Yeah, it is more.
RZA is Maul's son.
Oh yeah, RZA's more because the samples and
it's something different. That's Maul's son. Like Maul is like mad, bro. Like Maul is mad. But Quick is kind of the first. Now it could be somebody else. I just don't know. But I think Quick is the first person I remember playing on top of the sample like that. Yeah. Shout out to Hempsism. I agree. Quick is. You know what? I'm not gonna say he's the most important, but I think he's the most influential producer on the West. I think the most important producer on the West is Too Short. Too Short is the most important producer. Like. I think the most influential is DJ Quick, but I think Too Short is the most important. Like, Short is important. Yeah, I'm not mad at the Neptunes. Neptunes are Timbaland. I'm not mad at that, but Tim really was a R&B.
Tim was too abstract with his shit like that. He was doing a lot of R&B too.
Yeah. Neptunes are actually hip hop producers.
They went over to R&B like that. Nah, that's a fact. I got Neptunes though. and to where they took it to too.
Feels like it should be Neptunes. That's the crazy part. Because they brought like, even sometimes when I think of songs like Popeyes with the clips, like for them to just put their foot in it, that's fire. That's fire. Yeah, I like that. All right.
I like Neptunes too.
Yeah, I like Neptunes for right now till unless we can find something better.
Yeah. Good question.
That's a great question. Yeah, I'll
take that. Might bring that over to ADHD. I'm about to say I might bring that over to ADHD.
Need to. We need to flush that out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, this is live lunch hour every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here at noon Pacific Standard Time. Click the thumbs up button. Let everybody know you're in the house. If you're on Facebook, share this post. Tell a friend to tell a friend. If you're on Twitter, retweet this link. We do this to support the No Ceilings podcast. Look below us a link. Conversations about the shit GB tweeting. You can listen to that on Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, iHeart Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcast from. The No Ceilings podcast, executive produced by Charlemagne the God, the Black Effect Podcast Network, and iHeart. And before, is we finna get up out of here, but once you leave, do me a solid. Head over to the Crip store. Y'all see those hats King's holding? New albums, all of the above. Head over to www.thecripstore.com. The TheCripstore.com. And buy a hat, buy an album, buy a vinyl, buy something. You feel me? Much love to y'all. See y'all Monday.